Bong. Bong. Welcome to another episode of the Long Hop Cricket Podcast. Just want to start off this episode by saying it's probably not the first time we've had someone unsubscribe, but it is the first time we've had someone comment on the reasons why and then sort of, having a parting blow before they go. We had someone after last week's episode saying, well, they weren't particularly happy with the content.
How pissed do you have to be to tell someone you're leaving?
Yeah,
I know. You go to a party and be like, this party is really, really shit and I hate it.
Find the person who's organised the party, tell them it's rubbish and then leave.
So the party with 68 others of you, and you've got to go and tell the person, you know what, your party has really racked me up.
Right.
I've got to go.
And then the long hop massive, the have we got a name for our subscribers? The
subbies.
It needs to be more
cricket based, yeah. They're our 12th man, aren't they?
The 12th men.
Yeah.
The 12 men came in hard. I feel, but anyway, he was saying that we were being, I think it was you, being disrespectful, even though he acknowledges West Indies are a weaker side. We were being disrespectful, and we've lost our only West Indian subscriber. Now, what's interesting about that is how does he know he's the only West Indian subscriber?
I don't know how to go and do that. But, yeah, that's a sad state of affairs.
Shame.
Though we will be looking at comments towards the back end of this podcast.
We won't go any more into it. But
the last
there we go. So that's the first person to leave the comment on why they don't like it.
I don't think it's the first person to leave it.
No, but to leave the comment on why. But he's probably resubscribed anyway. So, right. Today, this episode, we're going to be covering the first test match between England and West Indies, the first day-night test match. And I think that's a good place to start. With the first day-night test match,
how do you
pink ball.
How do you reckon it went under lights?
As in the format of it,
did it work?
It's fine.
Yeah,
but I don't think we got a good test of whether it. I don't know about the pink ball. Do you know what I mean?
I thought the pink ball held up. We had three pretty much full days of play.
Yeah.
Okay, we had some rain come in.
Right.
But I thought the pink ball got to 80, 90 overs, especially in the England innings. It didn't in the West Indies innings. But I thought the pink ball held up. There was lots of worries that it was going to go soft. There does definitely seem to be optimum times for bowling. And that's either in the first 20 overs of your innings.
Yeah, like any test match.
Like any test match. But normally, I suppose the pitch is flatter, isn't it, in the afternoon, with the sun out?
Yeah, I think...
that kind of evens it out, I think.
Yeah.
And then it's that kind of that twilight zone of, probably dusk.
When the floodlights are just starting to kick in and they're sort of needed.
Doesn't really know...
Then...
You don't really need to know... Well, you don't need to, have a new ball for it to kick about.
I think it's also probably with the temperature probably drops just a little bit. Starts to go down. I reckon it's not very nice to bat then. Half light, like half natural light, half floodlight. I think any ball is hard to pick up then.
I listened to I think it was part of a podcast or it was on TMS or whatever, and they found out why it swings and why it doesn't swing on sunny days. Because sunny days, the sun comes in and it hits the pitch. And the pitch then has like heat rays coming out of it.
Right.
And then because the heat rays, it's so uncertain, if you like, it's unstable, the heat rays, because the heat rays everywhere.
Right.
It can't swing in unstable atmospheres, if you like.
Right, okay.
When it's overcast, there's no heat.
It's more stable.
So it's
conditions.
more stable, so the ball then can... wonder how that converts to the day-night game. I suppose it's going to swing a lot more than if there's no sun whatsoever. But anyway, I think there was a few things that was... It's not really a day-night match. It's only 1 hour a night, isn't there?
Something like that.
And I suppose in other places in the world, like if we were at the West Indies where it sets at 6, you'd have more of a day-night game. It can only be played in August because we would have no night. we'd have a late evening day game.
You could do it, couldn't
In
you?
July.
But the floodlights would just help you keep it going.
There's a big problem though.
It wouldn't really be a day-night though, would it?
Big problem I think is with the overrate. If you're going to be slow, it really means something at 9 o'clock at night because people will be missing their last train. So if you cut off at 9, you might be able to get a 9:30 train home if you're lucky enough to do that. I know if we were to go up to Lords, we might for a day-night game or the Oval, we would have to probably cut out some playing time. But then if they gone to what's allowed scheduled to 9:30, there's no chance we'd be able to go and watch that if we relied on public transport.
I suppose that's a bit of a problem, but I think it's just people are just going to require more planning, aren't they?
Well, they shouldn't need to, should they? Get the overs done in time. It's simple. I think.
Well, but it rarely ever happens, does it?
No.
So it is a problem.
Terrible. I'm being slightly bashful, but why was it played at Edgbaston?
Why do you? Where do you want it played?
Why would you bring in day-night game? Why would you change it? What's the reason to bring in a day-night test match? Come straight off your head. What would you? Why would you?
Why are they doing it?
Yeah.
They want more crowd.
Right. Bang on.
Oh, what? And you think they get it anyway at Edgbaston?
Do you know the first day-night test match was offered to Lords? They said no.
Well, yeah, it's not proper.
It's just like, what do you want them sat on top of each other? Sell 2 seats for the full. Sell 1 seat.
Where do you want it? Where do you want it?
I want it
Cardiff.
Cardiff. Durham would be cold, but I want Durham, Headingley,
Manchester.
The Old Trafford does all right, but there's definitely those kind of grounds. Maybe even not the Trent Bridge.
Well, I wonder whether they did it. They want the first one at Lords, and if it wasn't Lords, they want it at Edgbaston, so they could say it was a success.
Yeah, well,
that's probably why they've done it.
Edgbaston's probably the best ground in the world for day-night games because they hold the T20
so
finals.
Now they can go, it's worked perfectly. Let's do it again.
But then I imagine if you wouldn't have asked, because it only went for 3 days.
Yes.
Went and asked Edgbaston ticket guys, was it more of a success? They would probably say something along the lines of, we don't know because we normally sell out the first 3 days.
I don't think they were looking for more of a success at Edgbaston because, like you say, I think test matches are always a success there because they usually sell out all the tickets.
Yeah.
But what they want, like the ECB want to be able to go, day-night test match, success, we sold out. Like you say, well, you just sold out anyway. But now they can go and do it other places with that backup.
Well, the thing is though, is that if they start playing in London,
right,
it's gonna, which they will do. There's no doubt they will do.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
What's the problem?
Because I prefer the day game, just because that's what.
Well, yeah, I was speaking to people I play cricket with, and they were saying, I like going home at 6. Like I like having that to do in the day, and then I've got other stuff to do.
Yeah,
like it's just a thing, isn't it? Go and watch cricket for the day.
It's just a traditional thing. I would prefer to go and watch in the daytime because that's what the game's always been.
Yeah.
So, and then I don't particularly want to. I don't understand why I would go to a ground that already fills out the daytime. It's not like a Cardiff where you need to bring more people in after work. Go to Lords, go to Oval. They're always pretty good attendance.
What would you think? Aside from all of that, of having day series and day-night series. So,
we don't need multiple. I don't want multiple day-night games. I don't want to watch.
No,
I don't.
So you wouldn't be happy if we played South Africa as we have, and this Test series against West Indies were day-night series.
No, I don't want multiple day-night games. No.
Why not?
Because it's kind of. I suppose I just think I want it back to the original game.
What about if you were playing the really lesser nations that people aren't that bothered about?
Well,
if we had one against, say we had one against like Bangladesh that probably doesn't do that well. If you had a 3 day-night series against them, I reckon you'd get better numbers.
Yeah.
If that's what you're trying to do.
You're right, yeah. But
I wouldn't be that bothered by that.
No.
If we had a proper one, a proper series against someone, and then our second series is against a weaker team or whatever.
Yeah. Well,
we'll have our.
I'm glad that we didn't
one.
see it against South Africa because it wasn't necessarily needed, especially in some of the grounds that they went to. There were I've lost it because your mic's gone.
I apologise. The mic. Okay, go on. Sorry.
Edgbaston have come out and said they got their new record attendance.
Hey?
On the second day, outside of an Ashes test.
Oh, right. Sorry. Right. Okay.
So, and a lot of people are saying, well, they have done better. It has worked.
Yeah.
But then what I'm saying is that's brilliant. But Edgbaston, we don't need to make the rich richer kind of thing. Edgbaston already is very successful.
Yes. Okay.
So, I would rather see it go out to the likes of Trent Bridge.
Well, I think it will. It will.
But also, we're gonna have to. Thing is, though, the way it goes, I think when we tour, we'll have to start playing them. So there's one in the Ashes. So we had to have one.
I'm not sure about that.
This summer, there's one. There'll be when we go to South Africa, when we go to New Zealand, when we go to all these other places, there will be a day-night test match. So I suppose we have to have one in England just to have some practice.
Like you say, though, for test matches where you don't have problems selling them out,
why
do you have to have a day-night one?
Lords,
like the Ashes.
We don't need one at Lords.
The Ashes. We don't need one in the Ashes.
Australia's slightly different. It's like they're 100,000 capacity stadiums, aren't they? They want all the money they can get.
You reckon they'll get more for an Ashes series in a day-night?
Yeah.
You reckon they will? You reckon they'll beat the numbers?
Yeah.
I think if Australia are losing, you could play out on the moon. They're not going.
Well, I think it's in Adelaide, and I think this test match, I think that's almost certified that Australia will win that one.
Is it?
Just because they're used to those conditions. We're completely alien to England.
Anyway, should we cover?
Let's
cover the first test match between England and West Indies.
Start the game.
Right. So
England win the toss and choose to bat, and put on a mammoth 5-14.
Oh, yeah. It was a bat and pitch, wasn't it? So that's pretty standard. Not the score. I mean, to bat first.
Yeah, I think it was set up to be a batting pitch to start with, especially. I don't think West Indies scores, we'll get onto them later, really do justice to how good the pitch was.
No.
It did start to...
got a bit of funny bounce, didn't it?
It started to rip a little bit for the spin in the third day, maybe.
Something I want to bring up at the end, looking at Alistair Cook's 243.
Yeah, it's quicker than normal as well.
That's going to make a difference to your team selection, isn't it? Like we were saying in the last podcast. We said we'll pick Cookie just so he can get a massive one. So he can get a huge score so he can have confidence.
I don't mean to be like, a god at this or anything, but I said that he looked good against Africa. And I was like, he's going to score big runs. He's going to get a double. He's going to score big. And we didn't necessarily need to play him in the third game. That's a big score, 243.
I reckon in future, because you're getting big-headed with these predictions, thinking you're the boy, you should start giving out, like, the odds. Like, we should try and get sponsored by, like, by a betting company. Yeah. So you can go, look, Cookie, double turn.
Yeah, that'd be great. Put this
45 to 1. Put a tenner on there.
Use our links or the back to the podcast.
Fair play. He did go and get 243, which is just
33
a monstrous score. It's huge. So
what I'm going to say is I think he would have got more if England weren't fucking about.
Do you think he cares, though?
Well, I was thinking this. When he got his double 100, I was thinking, is it rude to retire hurt? Or just to
retire hurt?
Just to say,
yes.
I've had enough.
Yeah, you can't do that test match.
See, you
can't do
weird,
that test match level. It's not weird.
Because it's just like...
It's the highest level.
Yeah, I know.
You can't do that.
But then I'm getting a bit bored. I'm not getting bored watching him, but I'm getting bored for him, if you like. I'm just thinking, like, well, what's he going to do now? Is he going to continue playing the way he has to? Or is he just going to, like, do a Ben Stokes and try and slog it to get to 300? If not, fuck it, who cares?
No, well, the thing is, I think it's different because it's the first innings. So you just want to set a monster score, don't you? If it was the second innings and we'd sort of got a pretty good lead already, then you sort of have that smash out mentality. But when you're setting the score, first innings, you just got to bat.
Well, I suppose... England were 39 for 2.
Yeah.
We found ourselves back in that hole again. Stoneman got a peach.
Yes, it was such a good ball. And the thing was, like, not that long before, Roach had bowled on to, like, second slip or something.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not
the
like...
first game was, yeah.
So it's not like
I think it was in the second over. This was.
That's horrible to play when someone can do that and then bowl a perfect delivery. So it's annoying, really, because we've got one look at him in this Test match, and he got just a really, really good ball. So it's we still don't know. Brilliant. That's another Test match we've wasted.
It's
like Joe Root should have just not made them bat again, so we could have another look at him.
Well, we'll certainly get onto that after the Windies second innings. Wesley.
Yeah.
Another 8 for Wesley.
A little bit unlucky, I think.
Bollocks.
Well, it was clipping. It was clipping. You could easily not give that not out. Easily. I didn't think it was out when I was watching the highlights when he got hit. I didn't think that was out.
The umpires had a bad game.
They did, didn't they? They had a lot of overturned decisions.
That weren't great.
Yeah.
If you're going to bat on off stump and you miss a straight one, then what can we do?
Well, it's still... When you watched... Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you think it was out when it hit him?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't. I would never give that out.
No, I went straight up. I thought it was stone dead.
Oh, it's definitely not stone dead.
But when I watched it, I thought, yeah, definitely.
No.
It was the same the way Cook got out. I can't believe that that had to be referred when Cook got out LBW and the umpire said no. And when the Windies referred it, I thought the umpiring was poor. But, I think Wesley will get found out.
Well, we'll see.
I am worried actually about Wesley.
You like going against someone that I like.
No.
If this happens. But we'll see. I mean, I don't mind if he's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Right. Question.
Yeah.
We could probably compare Wesley to Tross.
We haven't got time. We haven't got time to replace these players. We haven't got time for this to be going wrong now.
How come Jonathan Trott, who was a leg side player, did he have a different setup? Was he not batting on his off stump? Because Wesley basically he's a bit like Bavuma, he just covers the stumps.
Yeah. Well, it's just having a better eye for the ball, isn't it? He just didn't miss it.
So you thought...
And he's probably better defensively. He's probably just got a better shot choice of when to defend. So and he probably does wait for it to be a little more leg side.
Where was Jonathan Trott's weakness then in Test cricket?
Well, I think anyone has a weakness just
corridor
outside. Yeah, and he didn't play the cover drive very often. No, so I imagine if you got him driving early, he'd probably be in trouble. But that's the same for any player in the world.
Maybe the full Yorker.
I don't remember anyone bouncing him that much.
No, I'm thinking pitched up early and get him playing across.
I think that was what people thought. It's just attack the stumps early and hope he'd miss it or get bowled. Because he did get bowled a few times.
Yeah.
But just a really good... He's got as much weakness as any other batsman who's one of the best.
Oh, it's interesting about Alistair Cook. His weakness, you would say, would be playing out, and he barely plays at the cover drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's hitting a cover drive, you're in trouble. Because he's already got 200.
No, he did. He played the cover drive early and played the straight drive.
Yeah, I saw the straight
and
shot.
I was just thinking, he doesn't play that normally.
Yeah.
That's not normally in the game. Anyway, there's two of the batsmen that really... Joe Root and Cookie put in a partnership of 250.
Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
Which gets England 287 for 3. And Rooty gets 143 off 189. Was looking really good. 136, sorry. Read that wrong. Off 189. It was looking really good. And then I think he got one and it just moved. The lights were just coming down.
He got one in the twilight zone.
In the twilight. And it just moved and it just beat him. And I don't think he was on 136. I don't think he was looking to bring out the defensive shot too much. I think he was looking to score runs.
Also, you can start getting comfortable when you know your opposition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And that you start... It's probably... Yeah. He's not going to be that bothered, is he?
Though it's a big thing for Joe Root, I think, to go on and get 100.
Yes.
We looked at his conversion rate in the last game. And
he needed it, didn't he? Needed it. What do you think about Milan? I think that's a problem.
Really?
Him getting 65, yeah.
Well, he's
because it means he stays there.
Yeah.
I think that's a problem.
He's done better than Wesley and Stoneman. If you're going to put the three of them in a hat together, it's probably the best score. He's probably beaten Wesley's top score of 50 odd, whatever that was.
You think he's done better in his time playing for England than Wesley has?
They're probably pretty similar now, aren't they, average-wise?
I'm not going on average. I think the time they've been playing, you think Milan has contributed more to the team
Wesley's
than
got
Wesley.
150, Milan's got 150.
You think they've contributed the same?
Yeah, I'd probably
in
say
their
so
time
now,
lane?
yeah.
So Wesley's got like 3 30s, a 50, and then he's failed a few times. Milan hasn't made us. He's got no runs,
Yeah, but
and then he's made a
isn't
65.
this like his 4th time batting? Or
Well, how many times Wesley batted?
yeah, a little bit more.
Yeah, but not that much more.
Maybe 6 or 7. I think they're pretty even. I think you just go by what they score, and Milan's got a 65.
I'd be interested to see how many runs they have scored. I reckon Milan's probably just managed to get over 100 runs.
Do you want me to...
I seriously, yeah, because I think he's way behind him for runs scored. Average, they somehow might weirdly work out to be similar. Because
what's Wesley's first name?
Tom Wesley.
No, what I was impressed with David Milan was he did come in the twilight zone after a massive 250
Yeah, he did put effort in.
And that's commendable.
65 or 139 balls. It's just a shame it wasn't needed.
I've got David Milan's, though Tom Wesley's hasn't come up yet. We just type that back in.
But yeah, I don't know. Is it a problem? Probably not. If someone's scoring runs, you can't really claim it to be a problem if a batsman's scoring runs.
So, David Milan's scored 100 runs in his Test career.
There we go. What a cracking guess. Right. So he's just scored 100 runs.
In 5 innings.
In 5 innings. One of his innings being 65. So that's...
And Tom Wesley?
That's bad anyway, isn't it?
It's not great. So he's averaging 20.
Yeah, that's rubbish. When you're in the team as a batsman.
Tom Wesley has scored 130 runs in the same 5 innings, actually.
Right.
And he averages 26.
Right. So Wesley's better.
There's 30 runs in it.
Yeah, Wesley's better.
So that kind of spells that. But anyway, we shouldn't be putting them against each other, should we?
Right, but Milan is... I don't know. It's not a problem, is it? You can't say a batsman scoring runs a problem.
No. Well, he scored... I thought he did really
well.
I
don't believe he'll do it.
No, I think I'd rather have Alex Hales there.
I don't think he's good enough.
Or Ian Bell.
Right, let's leave Ian Bell. He shouldn't be coming up anymore.
But then, those are the only 3 batsmen that do anything. And fair play to Milan. He must have been he was in there, had his pads on for 70 odd overs.
It's a good innings because although it's irrelevant, he knows it's some big innings in his career.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he has to if he's not going to do it against West Indies.
And the way he got out, it started to turn slightly, but it would be disappointing to getting out to chase.
Absolutely. And then basically England just mess about for the rest of it.
I was pissed off about that.
No one really cares, do they?
Right, is this disrespectful? I wanted 600, 650.
No, well, I said no. I think when you're batting first, you set the biggest score you can, unless you use up 3 days. Do you know what I mean?
I think being 400 for 3, 449 for 3, Milan goes, make it for 4. I think setting 514's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. But I think England were hoping that Ben Stokes went out and smashed a 30.
Yeah,
Bairstow did the same. Maybe Moen got a 50, and you just end up getting there.
But the thing is, though, Ben Stokes played the reverse sweep, got caught.
Yeah, I know.
Moeen comes running down the pitch. He's only faced 4 balls. That's not ideal preparation for playing in day-night games, is it? You don't. Moeen Ali plays 4 balls before running down the pitch.
Yeah,
well, 3 balls.
We already got something massissive.
Yeah, right. This is what I'm saying. But I'm saying, do you think England should have been like, actually, guys, you've never batted under lights with a pink ball? Just go
maybe.
And we're like, let's try and get 600, then push on.
Maybe, but I think
because honestly, I think Cookie would have got a triple if he would have had the support.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. I think had that been against Australia in an Ashes series, they wouldn't have done that. They wouldn't bat like that.
Would they?
They'd be going for the biggest score possible. People wouldn't just be running around smashing it all over the place or trying to. They would have batted to get the biggest possible score.
Because the thing that kind of surprised me was being 440 odd for 3.
Yeah.
You're kind of hoping that you're not going to have to bat again.
Yeah.
So put it in no doubt and just say, lads, go out there and bat like you would bat normally.
Yeah.
And get 600, get 650. We'll look to declare then. Because you're not going to have another go, I don't think.
Well, the thing is 514, so they've started having a go before they've got to 500.
Yeah.
I think if you get to 500, then you can start having a do-dally, isn't it? If you get to 500,
I would say
500's monstrous. 600 is ridiculously big
I
score.
wanted to see. I think maybe that was just greed. I wanted to see 600.
Well, it's a good chance to get 600 in it.
And I wanted to see Cookie get a triple.
Yeah, true. I want him to get past 333 in it.
Yeah. I thought that was on, but then Ben Stokes ruins it for him.
Right, let's move on to.
Do you want to just comment on the bowlers?
Yeah, move on to the West Indian bowler. I was going to say.
Chase, the spinner.
What do you think of their bowling attack?
Picks up the 4, which is the leading wicket taker for the West Indies.
What do you think of their bowling attack?
Kemar Roach can bowl. Cummins, Holder, dreadful. Joseph, fast, but maybe the fastest, but maybe on par. Maybe Joseph's not that great. Can't handle it. The spinner Chase looked average. They should bring that Bishu back in. I think he can spin the ball. Let him play a proper spinner. You've got no proper players. Play a proper spinner.
That bowling attack is maybe the worst bowling attack I've seen in international cricket.
Sri Lanka?
It was so bad. Sri Lanka's not great, but that's awful. They just look, and they
Roach
also look like they didn't.
Roach is a good bowler.
They look like they didn't care. They did.
I
think as soon as we started getting past 400, there's we've lost it already.
It is
well
difficult.
done, boys. Let's just move on to the next one.
When you're 400 for 3, it's difficult to sit there and be like, yeah.
But you've got to. You can't. It's international cricket.
Holder's not good enough.
None of them are good enough.
I thought Cummins and Roach I thought Roach had a good game actually. I thought Roach was the one that looked dangerous.
It's actually depressing.
There's no real pace there.
The problem is when a team bowling attack is like that, it's like you just don't care that Cookie's getting a double 100. It's like, come and face me and you'll get a double 100 as well. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like, that's cool and it'll look good. It's just like when Jonathan Trott got his double 100 against Bangladesh. It's like, all right, you got a double 100, but it just takes away from it a bit.
What we haven't mentioned is, what do you reckon about the new rebranding of the West Indies?
Hey?
They're now called the Windies.
Yeah, and what do you think about their logo? It's all colour now on their helmet.
Oh, right.
It's all in colour.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Windies. What do you reckon?
Windies. That's all right.
The thing is, though,
people call them anyway, isn't it?
What I don't like is, on like this on the television.
Yeah.
It says win next to.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm almost thinking like, is that win predictor or is that
It's not a major problem, but I know what you're saying.
Windies.
Let's move on to the Windies.
Should I call this the West Indies or the West Indies?
Call them whatever you like, mate.
Windies or West Indies?
Well, they're down on here as West Indies.
Yeah, but they were down on everything else as Windies.
You can call them either one. I don't think anyone's going to be particularly bothered.
I'll put a big slash in there.
Right, you're going to call them both.
Anyway, England didn't bowl that well actually to start with on that.
Do you want to start with the England bowlers?
Second evening.
One of them was awful.
What, in the first
Who do you think? Yeah.
Ben
Or
Stokes?
just, yeah. What is he doing? It's like he can't bowl in the top half of the pitch, that bloke. I don't know if it is a plan, right? It must be a plan. But he just bowls short. He can't bowl the ball full. For someone who swings the ball, you think, that his main priority would be pitch the ball up, see if he can get it to swing. He just runs in like he's 12, and trying to bowl as quick as he can. It's sort of short and wide. He gets slapped for 4 and goes and gets all angry about it. Like, calm down. Take 5 miles an hour off your bowling speed and pitch the ball up, please. It's just annoying. And then he gets a wicket because the West Indies aren't very good at batting. And they're like, what a brilliant delivery. But it wasn't a brilliant delivery.
He bowled better in the second innings.
It pitched halfway down the pitch and he nicked it. But that is not a good delivery.
In the first innings, he didn't pick up a wicket. In the second innings, he did bowl a lot better. But going back to the first innings, I don't think England, they were 44 for 1 at the close of play, West Indies. And England, Stuart Broad in particular, didn't bowl well to begin with.
Yeah, Boycott was saying that he thought he was like really happy because he thought they were like putting a battle in. They're like, this is a change in mentality.
Yeah,
this is showing like they're gonna have a go. They're gonna try and fight to win this, and then it's just sort of.
Well, they come back and England start actually pitching it in the right area, and then I think it was that Powell run out, Jimmy Anderson runs him out, and it was just like, that's it now. I think that's now you're 47 for 3. It's kind of game over, and you've just given your wicket away after battling last night for almost 15 overs. I don't know what you want to.
There's not really. I mean, we could talk about Blackwood.
Well, he comes out and smashes it about.
But I'd love to see West Indies wagon wheel. It's third man. If England put a third man in, they don't get 100. It's just ridiculous.
I think Blackwood's mentality was you pitch it up and it's going back over your head.
Well, yeah, he's having a go, isn't he?
He played well, but he
doesn't look like he's going to do that every time.
No, he doesn't look
like some people look like he could do that any day of the week.
He's not Sarban, is he?
No, he just it's like he's having a go and it's come off. That's what that looked like.
Yeah,
but he did it, not out as well. Which is impressive because when the whole team's collapsing around you, it's easy just to give your wicket away.
Well, 168 all out.
Yeah.
Cookie makes one that.
I always think that's harsh when one player's made a massive score and the other team fail. Then you go, oh, well, that one player made more than them.
The thing is, though, is it Kyle Hope and Kieran Powell, number 2 and 3?
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of felt like, actually, go on, boys. I'd just give it a go.
What, you wanted them to smash it? What are you saying?
Oh, I'm wanting West Indies to not get out for 168.
Well, yeah, I know, but you can't blame that on 2 batsmen.
No, but what I'm saying is that those guys look early on maybe the most accomplished batsmen in that. The 2 and 3 probably look the best batsmen.
Where?
I know the second Hope comes in at 4, but.
Who's the really tall guy? Is it Chase? He looks very, very awkward. He came in...
Holder, isn't it? It's Holder.
No, yeah, he might be, but I think it's Chase because he came in and Michael Vaughan was like, Chase, very good player, look, quality. Well, he must have had an off day because he looked like his legs were just too long.
Yeah, I think the problem with the batting was the basics weren't done and then they just fell apart. And did you see the debacle about taking the new ball?
No, I didn't. What happened there?
So it got to twilight.
Right.
West Indies had an opportunity to take the new ball.
Okay.
For 2 overs, they didn't. They bowled spin.
Right.
And it's in twilight, right? And Stuart Law, the West Indies...
yes.
The West Indies coach had his head in his hands and was like, fuck this. Just went and sent down the message, take the new ball. And that was kind of... I know the captain was off. And then the vice captain was having a crack. But it kind of just shows you that I think brains were scrambled during this test match for the West Indies after seeing England just come out and dominate.
They come in knowing they're not as good as England by a long way. They know they're not as good as England.
Yeah.
They then get battered into the floor by just an England set 514, which they know they're never going to get. And I just think it's hard to care then.
The thing is, though, is that West Indies are a better team at home.
What, like anyone?
Yeah, of course. And you're kind of hoping we'd play it in the West Indies rather than... I know we have to host West Indies here, but it was kind of like the Sri Lanka last summer. It's
worse than that.
It's just, what am I enjoying this?
Well, that's the thing. It kind of takes away a bit of the shine of England battering the team.
And it kind of like... I actually wanted West Indies to do well. It's not like playing Australia. I want to see them bowled out for 100 each time. 5 test matches against Australia. If
this happened every test match, I'd be well happy.
Yeah. But because it's the West Indies, I like the West Indies as a team. They've got a lot of stars that have just played T20, but a lot of people are saying, why can't we have the likes of Marlon Samuels and Chris Gale and Shiv Ryan Chandlerpur? I know he's 112. He still plays county cricket. And he's just like, no.
Why?
Because let's build for the future. You've got a good coach in Stewie Law.
Right.
Build for the future.
The problem is with your thing is you can't just get rid of the old guard and bring in the new.
They've done
no, I know, but what people, well, maybe not, but what they could be annoyed about is the fact you have these players that are proven international players, like Chris Gale, like Chandlerpur, who are actually really good players that would get into a lot of teams.
Yeah.
And they just stop And you go, oh, brilliant, we've got 5 players to replace, and we don't actually have anyone to put in there. And then you get this.
I know West
Indies get battered.
Problem is with West Indies cricket, they've got no money, have they?
No,
so the facilities are poor.
Yeah,
they haven't got that many. There's not a big population, so you can see why cricketers go and just want to go and play T20 games and domestic cricket just because they get paid more. Anyway, follow on. Would you have made them follow on?
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. You do. If you want to win it, you make them follow on, definitely. The problem is that I want to have a look at England's batsmen that we don't know about.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Give them another go. We need 6 goes, these guys, this series. We've lost one.
The thing is, I would say, I think it is not disrespectful, but I think it's taking the piss slightly if you don't make them follow on.
And the other thing, yes, you're right. And the other thing is, if we do bat, they're not going to bat properly. We're not going to see how they bat in a test match situation because they're already so far ahead. They're not going to bat properly.
Like I said, I think we should have taken the first innings, the back end of the first innings more seriously.
This test match, I think, is unlucky for Stoneman. He's just lost 2 innings because the first one's a peach. He's just got a pillar of a ball.
Yeah,
and he's got no chance to bat in the second one.
To a degree, he hasn't been able to prove it. And, there's 3 batsmen in there that would want as many balls as possible, aren't they? Because they need to prove themselves. I wouldn't have made him follow on. I think you have to go and look to win the game. But I would have changed my approach for the first innings, probably.
Yeah, but England have played it perfectly. And West Indies just weren't up for it in the second innings.
No, they weren't.
They weren't up for it.
So in the first innings, Anderson picks up his 3.
Yeah.
Shree Broad picks up 2. Edges them closer to Ian Botham's record at that point. Toby Running-Jones picks up 2.
He looked slow to me.
He's not fast, Toby Running-Jones.
No, I know, but it was weird. It was when he was taking that fifer, he looked sharp.
Yeah, you think he looked slower today?
Yeah, he looked really like... I didn't know what had happened. So
he bowls what? He looked 79 to 82, 78 to 82, maybe.
I didn't realise he was that. He's not that slow, is he? He doesn't bowl in the 70s.
Well, I think he
doesn't bowl in the 70s.
Well, it's like Jimmy Anderson. Balls
occasionally
will go in.
Yeah, but
I'm saying that.
But Jimmy Anderson's nearly 40. Roland Jones doesn't bowl in the 70s.
He bowls probably like.
If he bowls in the 70s, get rid of him.
He bowls. He bowls
got another problem now.
Pretty early 80s.
Right. Well, I thought he just looked a bit slower than previous.
Moeen picks up the 1. I think Moeen's actually becoming a bowler. Fair play to him. I've slated him. He's done all right,
Yeah, he's a bodge bowler, but he's starting to do all right, isn't he?
I think he's starting to learn, and people are saying it's because it's mushy.
I'm sure if you put enough work in, you'll get all right, won't you? He's had long enough. He's been there forever.
Sponsored by
brilliant. That was Graham Swan. But I think Moen's becoming a bowler, and I think Ben Stokes becoming a batsman.
So anyway, second innings, West Indies all out for 137.
Rubbish.
Carlos Brathwaite sticks about and makes a good 40 actually. Gets LBW by Moeen, which I think was referred at one point. Poor umpiring. But anyway, Chase makes a 24.
Stuart Broad looked rapid.
Yeah. Well,
he
Stuart
looked
Broad
rapid.
There's one of those. Okay, only bowls to 10 overs, but
they were saying about his run up.
Yeah, he just looked good.
He starts quickly now. He does because a lot of people have like that walk to get him going, and then they start sprinting. He just straight away goes to the sprint.
Clark? No, who was the great big Australian bowler? Stuart Clark.
Oh, what, the sort of medium pacer kind of guy?
Huge.
Yeah.
He used to have that little gentle, little, just like
rumble in,
little walk in, and then he'd try and pick up a bit of pace and get through his action quicker.
Like a little, he kind of had like a little wobble to him.
A little bit of like a slow gallop.
He was sort of like a little nibbly away swinger.
Yeah, he was a good bowler.
He was a good bowler.
He actually was a good bowler.
Destroyed England.
Big boy.
He was big, wasn't he? But he didn't bowl, but he could hit a ball as well. We don't need to get into this.
Broad bowled well, picks up his 3 wickets, which took him in front of Sir Ian Botham as now England's second leading wicket taker.
That's mental.
Behind one.
So we've got both of England's best pace bowlers playing at the same time.
Over 800 wickets between them.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of wickets.
What are we going to do?
And Broadie's, I think he's what, 31, 30?
What's going to happen? We've got big enough problems. We don't need...
He's got a few years left in him if Jimmy's anything to be...
Well, yeah, no, I'm just...
Oh boy.
Yeah, let's not worry about it now. We've got other problems.
That's a lot of wickets.
It is a lot of wickets.
It was my favourite player, so I'm glad.
Yeah. England just steamrolled them. That was just a no contest, wasn't it? If it was a fight, the ref would have stopped it after day one.
Oh dear, I don't know what. Toby Allen-Jones picks up another 2. Stokes bowls a lot better in the second innings, picks up the 1.
Yeah, bowls a lot better. But a lot better than worse is just bowling badly.
Well, 1 for 9 off 9s are good.
No, sorry, he bowled badly.
In the second innings,
he bowled badly for every time he bowled in that Test match.
No, Ali 2 for 54, and there's not a lot.
No,
we can talk about that.
But
innings.
Next Test match, do you change the team?
Well, they've named the 13 or whatever man squad.
Yeah,
it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
So we got an opportunity to see Wokes or Crane.
Would you be tempted to change the batting order? Not change the batsman in the batting order, but change the order.
No. Why would you want to do that?
Well, I just want them to have a go. I want to see how good they are.
But there's only 3 batsmen that we want to see.
All
have
right,
a go.
so you just play the same team?
Well, that's got to be the team that we want to take to Australia. Wesley at 3. Okay, maybe Wesley should bat 4. But Joe Root doesn't want that. He wants a number 3, so we have to just see him bat number 3.
All right.
You can't bat number
Milan,
6.
what about Milan?
He bats number 5.
Okay.
Well, go on then. How would you change it?
No, it's all right.
No, go on.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to hearing it. How would you change it?
It's fine. No, well, I was just thinking because you said you'd want to give Cook a rest and bring someone else in so we can look at them and all of that deal.
No, for the next game, I'm going with the same batting lineup. Cook might rest the last game.
Right. If he gets another double.
Or batter number 3. That would be nice. I'd like to see that.
You were just having a go at me for not even recommending changing the batting lineup.
Wesley's got about 3. Milan's got about 5. Stoneman's got about 2. And I suppose you could. I would like to see Wokes come in for Toby Allen-Jones. Just to have a look at Wokes. I think Wokes is better.
Yeah,
but just have a look at him. You only said this because you found out he bowls 79.
I don't think he does. I don't think he bowls in the 70s.
No room for Chase? What? No, what's his name? It's not
Chase.
It's not Chase.
No.
What's Crane?
Crane.
Yeah.
Well, you could have a look at him if you want.
What are you taking out? Mo? I think you have to take out Mo.
Yeah. Because otherwise he won't bowl. I think that's what England got to do. If we want to have a go at another spinner, we've got to drop Mo. Just so that they bowl the spinner.
I think you might want to do that in the last test because
they won't, though, will they?
Mo only got man of the series against South Africa.
Do you think that's taking the piss?
What?
Like we were saying, to bat again is taking the piss.
Yeah.
But surely, if we smash them in the next one,
and
then we just play,
we'll
just
put
have a go with whoever we want. What about if we had a go with a bodge team and then we lose?
Well, then that's.
They would get such a bollock.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, that was stupid, isn't it? Don't lose.
Don't do that.
I could see them. I could see actually Crane coming in for the last test. If you think Crane deserves a test cap, then let him have a go. I think it should have been Rashid again, but
how old's Rashid now?
He's I think 29, 30.
Squash mine. I was thinking if he's like 33, they would just call it a day. Isn't it? And give Crane a go. He's only young. Right. Have we finished with that there? Should we move on to the comments?
Yeah.
Okay. We've got quite a few. We got a lot on the last one. I love comments. People need to comment more.
Right then.
But I think the first comment kicked off a bit of a
No, but we've got a lot of comments to go through.
Okay, come on then.
Lewis Keenan. I think this is Lewis.
You're going to have to put them in context. I don't understand most of them, but go on.
Lewis Keenan. I think this is his first time coming.
Right.
Welcome to the 12th Man. Brilliant podcast. I love listening to it. Keep it up.
Oh, nice. That's always good. Up. We like those.
Thank you, Lewis. Dr. Holmes is back. Hey, what's up? It's been a while since I've listened to one of your podcasts. Been super busy. Women's cricket has come a long way, and you're right about how we as cricket fans will get more into it if more games are televised.
True.
The World Cup was absolutely amazing. The hype was legit, and the viewership was high. I would love to see a women's IPL because I think it will take women's cricket to another levels. As Mitali Raj said, I'm so excited to see what's next for the sportswomen. By the way, Shrub Soul is a fucking beast. I'm not sure if Sally Wright said the Soul bit, but yeah, Shrub Soul is a beast.
Okay.
Beast, that's not very flattering, but it's a very, very good cricketer. Thank you, Dr. Holmes. Welcome back.
Yeah. Women's IPL.
What do you reckon?
If it was on terrestrial television, that would be a really good idea.
Yeah, like ITV2. Oh, yeah. Like,
I think that would be really good. That would be well worth it.
you up for that?
Yeah. Watch it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so would I, actually. Like I said, on the podcast,
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching. What? I enjoyed watching the women's game. Can't just interrupt me by saying yeah all the time. Anyway, next comment. Dr. Red Pill. Now, Dr. Red Pill's changed his name. It was...
From?
No offence.
Oh, he's changed his... Are you sure?
Yeah, it's easier for us to...
Yeah, understand what it is.
For us to understand.
Okay,
So,
what's he saying?
Dr. Red Pill, guys, you should get international cricket captain. Test 05 versus 11 sides.
I've never heard of it. Have you?
Yeah,
I've never heard of it.
It's like Football Manager for cricket. I've got a version on my phone,
Right.
but obviously the computer one's good. Yeah, maybe we'll look to get into that.
Do a companion podcast.
We'll turn it into a gaming channel.
Okay.
Though actually, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, mine would win. Mine. Who would win if you called it now?
We called
11.
it. We called
11.
it, didn't we?
11.
Yeah, I think it was 11 we
Right.
called.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dr. Red Pill's back again. Women's tennis is actually really good, and I don't even like tennis. It's also aggression that males have makes it much more greater, intense game. Sorry, I'm 100% sure female sports won't be as big.
Yeah, but tennis, the women get as much coverage as the men do. So that's what you see, isn't it?
And that's why it's exciting, isn't it? Because you get to actually see it.
Yeah.
I think...
You've got to be able to see it to be able to judge it. We don't get to watch it.
The
So
thing
it's hard
is, though...
to take any judgment away. And if you don't get it on the telly, they don't get the funding, and then you're not going to get the quality, are you?
Of course not, yeah. I think, basically, Dr. Red Pill is saying men can bowl faster or hit a tennis ball faster and have more strength and all that. And if that is a problem, if that is a big thing for you, then you're just not going to get on with the women's game. But I think you look at the women's game in the idea of this is entertainment.
The skill set can still be there.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they still bowl well, they still bat well. But if you want to see 90 miles per hour, then you're probably not going to see it. But you're still going to see an even contest because it's not like 60 miles per hour bowling against people that can bat better than.
Good sport is just good to watch. Doesn't matter how quick they're bowling.
Not being sexist, just realistic. Come on, 90% of males watching female sports is to check out the ladies. You guys need to show some cleavage to get more views and subs, lol. Decent.
I would disagree. I don't watch the women's cricket.
No, I don't find the women. I don't find the women's tennis players that attractive. I find it
They're really good.
Yeah.
They're really good at tennis. I mean, they shout a bit loud, but
I don't think I don't think it comes into it.
No, I think people take the rip out of the volleyball, don't they, when it's in the Olympics?
Yeah, I was going to say volleyball, and then like professional wrestling. You're looking at that for girls. Like, you're not looking at
yeah. Okay, yeah, like WWE.
Yeah, you're not looking at that for
but that's
skill set.
Yeah, that's like gamesmanship, isn't it? That's just creating a show.
Yeah, well, it's not sport; it's entertainment. So thank you for that, Dr. Red Pill.
You're going to get in trouble with that, mate. Saying wrestling is not sport.
Yeah, have you seen the Louis Theroux documentary?
Yes.
Dr. Red Pill, I want to see Jingle Bells as a jingle. So do I.
Okay.
Would you like to see Jingle Bells?
Yes.
Come on, Owen lad. Get me in the Sunday team as a ringer one time.
Yeah, well, we spoke about this. Well, admittedly, not on the podcast. But I'm sorry, but you just can't invite strangers you meet on the internet. I'm sure you're a good player and you're a nice bloke, but it's not going to happen.
A bowl spin and an ECB prem.
You don't need a spinner.
What does a ringer mean?
A ringer is someone you bring in. So like a village team, you get a ringer in, someone who plays a high standard of league cricket to batter an opposition.
Would we call our subscribers ringers?
No. A ringer is a good play. You don't bring
That's what I was
bringing you in. You wouldn't be a ringer.
So Danny Eduardo, I think you should go and play for him. They've got 2 games left.
We've got 1 game left.
Keep hatching down. Smashing down the door, and he'll have to let you play.
No.
Dr. Red Pill first. We discussed that one. First comment. Good stuff.
Right. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, yeah, it's on lots of videos.
Right. Well, I'll get used to it.
Well, not
With
on
all
our
the-
videos. It's on a lot of
with all
YouTube. Anyway, this is where things get tasty.
Oh.
Oh, the person's unsubscribed, so I can butcher his
All
name
right.
all up.
Okay. Yeah.
All
Don't be mean. You've already ruined his team.
Jamnikwan.
Right.
I'm sorry if he's not listening, but
Right.
I have
He might
butchered
be.
the
I
name.
think he's come back. But go on.
English pomposity at its best.
Mm.
I know West Indies is a weaker side, but this is disrespectful. You just lost your only West Indian subscriber.
Well, again, I'm not sure he knows that, but
This actually
you got bothered about this.
this
didn't
actually
you?
made me think. Yeah, I did.
Right. Thin skin.
I see. We've had kind of trolling before.
Right.
We've had people say that we don't know what we're talking about, which is fairly
Yeah.
true.
Right.
And we've also we've had a little bit of trolling in the past.
Right. But not
No,
really.
but-
This isn't trolling.
No, this isn't a troll.
Right.
This is someone who's actually listened to the show and thought they're covering West Indies. Like, it was a preview.
I think he's hurt because he knows West Indies are not very good,
But-
and we've taken the mick, and you can't take the mick when someone's down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We've kicked them when they're down. He knows the West Indies aren't that great, and then we've just had a real go.
the thing is though, is that maybe we should do this, or maybe we label ourselves as just the England, which is kind of our cricket podcast. But the words I used was the West Indies are dog shit, and that we're going to beat them 3-0.
But we're England supporters.
We didn't talk about anything else.
We're England
We ran through the
supporters.
team, and I said, "Is Solomon Ben there?" You said no, and you said he can't have any more fights now. Do you think we should cover teams? Okay, when we play Australia, we certainly will. But teams like Sri Lanka or West Indies or Bangladesh. Do you think we should do more research coming into the shows? And
I think if people want us to cover, I think they need to leave comments.
well, this guy
But he hasn't said that he wants us to cover West Indian games. He's annoyed because England have played West Indies. He might have been waiting,
which I think
listening to the podcast and go, "Oh, brilliant! They're playing West Indies.
And I
They're
said
going to
they're
talk
dog
about
shit.
West Indies." We just went, "They're dog shit. We'll batter them," and then we talked about the Ashes, which I could see might be quite annoying.
That preview turned into I think that's the best show we've ever done. I really enjoyed doing that show. I think that's the best show we've ever done.
Right.
But
Well, if people want us to cover other countries, and they, then leave it, because we have a lot of different people. I mean, there's probably quite a lot of Indian subscribers, isn't there? But we
Yeah,
don't cover
probably.
any Indian cricket. It's just because one of the first series we covered was India.
well, I think if there was a good game, we'd cover it. But they're not playing it. They are probably playing. But they're
So
playing Sri Lanka,
maybe if people
Whatever.
want, we could cover big series. I'm not going to cover Sri Lanka playing no, but do you know what I mean though?
Yeah.
But I don't think
Well, you might cover India, Pakistan,
India Pakistan's massive, or like Australia, South Africa,
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if people are interested, if
What
people
about
want us to cover that stuff,
Ireland,
then we will.
Afghanistan. No?
Well, I'd be interested to cover Afghanistan's first Test match.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
It's not going to happen for another 14 million years.
Right? Yeah, but
Do you think we're disrespectful?
well, if you call a team dog shit, it is. But at no point are we being serious. You've got to
I think the only thing is you got to. There's no point.
that
it's
it's like
gone,
being
you
in the
know.
pub when people are talking about their football team,
Yeah,
and you
be
call a
like,
football team dog shit, and then
yeah.
they're like, "No, they're not. What are you talking about? You know what you're talking about." So I can see that people get annoyed, like could get offended by it, but we're not trying to be offensive, are we? And England did just batter them. They're just not very good.
Well, here's a question then for you.
Right,
He's gone.
right. Yeah, I reckon he's come back, but go on.
So he's not seeing this or hearing this.
Right.
Do we leave him a comment?
Saying what?
Well, do we want to voice anything to him? No?
Do you?
Don't leave me now.
Should we just leave a link to the song?
The thing is that I felt bad because I felt
Well,
like...
leave him a little comment then.
But I don't know what to say. I don't want to grovel to him.
Dude, this isn't like... I don't know what to say. This is a conversation to be had off podcast.
Well, maybe we'll have this conversation.
Right, okay.
A couple of...
Look, we're not trying to cause offence. I'm sorry if you got offended.
He's not listening.
Right, but to anyone else, when we cover your team,
of course, yeah.
if we rip them.
Yeah.
Right, next one.
Do you want to hear the comments that got... Or do you want to leave that?
No, keep going. Oh, yeah, let's leave it, yeah.
Leave
yes.
that comment,
Yeah.
LeQuint, and this is actually, I think maybe LeQuint's first or second comment. But Quint was on who ran away with... I think it's the same Quint who ran away with the Fantasy League.
Oh, right, okay. Well done.
Thoughts on Worcester signing Ashwin for the county championship?
That's a really good signing.
Love the pod. Ignore the hate. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Cheers, man.
This is Quintin de Kock, mate.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah, that's a I don't know why he's gone to Worcester.
We should doctrine the pictures down and just make him spin.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing is, though, he could probably bat better than most of the Worcester players. He should open and then...
That's a really, really good signing.
That's brilliant.
It's a really good signing.
Get Jadeja as well.
I wonder why do you think he's gone to... I don't know. Maybe it's just a spot. Maybe you don't get to pick and choose. I don't know.
Well, we had Nathan Lyon, didn't we? He's a Premier Australia spinner. Yeah, there's a difference in spin class.
Right.
But but
really good signing. I'd be way more tempted to go and watch them with Ashwin playing. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
It's a draw, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Thanks, LeQuint. Thanks for the nice words, and we will keep on rocking in the free world.
Yeah.
Lewis Keenan back again. Such a good podcast, so underrated. Listen to it all the time. Quality content.
Interesting. It's underrated. Underviewed.
Underrated. That's a bit of a weird one, I think, when people say that. It's like a massive compliment, but it's almost like, well, tell your friend and then it won't be. Do you know what I mean?
But surely underrated is the people who have listened to it don't think it's that good, but he thinks it's great.
No, he thinks we should be like probably spamming more subs and views.
Yeah, but it's cricket, isn't it?
And also, we don't offer a video. But tell a friend.
Yeah.
Shady's back. Anyway, Danny Eduardo back again. Hamid ain't up for it, lads.
Sorry? Oh, sorry, right. Oh, yeah, what is this? Got him out last week. I don't understand.
Played against him Saturday and got him out.
I don't know what he's talking. Is he being serious? What?
Yeah, he's ECB Prem, mate. Let him as a ringer. I still don't really understand what ringer means.
Right. Don't say it if you don't understand it. So he played against him.
What would be interesting is finding out what Danny bowls.
Spin.
Oh yeah, ECB Prem spin, yeah.
Right.
But are they, is it Chinaman?
What teams he play for so we can get him up? Because the league will be online so we can look it up. How do you get him out? Where were you playing him?
I'd actually like to know about the ball. Because, if you bowl him a good ball, then maybe you should be in the inside yourself. If you bowl him a bit of dross and he spooned one.
Look, if it's caught, we're not interested.
Yeah. No, Danny, let us know how you got Hamid out. That's
kind of cool, isn't it?
Hamid must be trying to play
all
the games.
Why didn't you tell him to listen to the podcast?
Yeah. Why
you should have plugged it.
We were a big fan of Hamid.
I'll tell you what you need to do, mate, if you're listening. You need to get a sticker with the Long Hop Cricket Podcast on.
Yeah, put it on your bat.
And put it on the back of your bat.
Yeah.
And then we'll mention you every week.
Danny's also put out his team he'd probably take to Australia, I think.
Cook. The 11?
Yeah.
Go on.
Cook, Davis, Lancashire opener, Wesley, Root, Hales.
Yeah, don't just turn your head. No one can see it.
Stokes, Bairstow, Ali, Wokes, Broad, Jimmy.
Right.
So my team, bar Davis. I've never really heard of him.
Well, yeah, and he's put Wokes in there, hasn't he?
Well, I'd put Wokes in my team.
He would now. No, you've seen him balls under.
You somehow.
No, I just wanted proven players.
Do you know what?
You've got someone you've never seen play. You don't even know who he is, and you've got two people we don't know if they're any good.
Jonathan Agnew, yesterday on Test Match Special, when I was listening to it, said he's got a bit of a left field idea for the opening spot.
Right.
To go to Australia.
Right.
And he says, similar to you, we know this boy can bat. Let's put Wokes up there because at least we know he can bat. We don't know anyone else can bat.
Was he being genuine?
Well,
or
he
was
said
it
it was
just like a bit of a weird one.
I think it was a bit of a weird
Because I can
one.
come up with a weird one. Do you know what I mean? No, well, that's ridiculous.
I think that was a genuine weird one. Do you know what I mean?
What
50-50.
would you if the team came out and Wokes was opening? What would you think?
I would just.
He's not going to bowl, is he? If he's opening the batting,
No, you're right.
so he's going to be what? Okay.
I would howl. Anyway, Amal Gupta. Who Amal's been with us for ages.
Right. What's he said?
Great podcast, guys.
Nice.
Love listening to them.
Good.
For one of the rainy day podcasts, could you look through the ICC team and player rankings and say your thoughts on them? As many people hate them, especially the player rankings. We've talked about this before.
I
though.
think we've touched on it, haven't we? The player rankings might be quite interesting.
Yeah, we really bitched about this ranking system on the end of year podcast. If you want to hear us bitch about it, go back to that one. But I think we'll probably have a look at. We did say we might have a look at the all-time best batting lineup or the current best batsmen and bowlers, and just basically take it apart.
Yeah, it might be
Because
quite
I think
good
Steve
fun.
Smith's like number 4 on the all-time.
Yeah, I don't want to get into it.
And we'll definitely put that in our list of things.
Good idea.
Joe Wood. Well, actually, Joe Wood. I remember Joe Wood once saying, "You two
No
have
relation to Mark.
No, he once said you two have no clue about cricket."
Oh, interesting. What's he put now?
This was the best podcast so far. It was so funny.
Well, I guess he hasn't really commented on our cricketing knowledge, has he?
No,
Just said it was funny.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
All right, fair enough.
Thank you, Joe or Woody.
The Woodster.
Dr. Red Pill back again. Right, they're all Dr. Red Pill now from now on.
Okay.
I should join you guys on a podcast.
Right, okay.
Living in Australia, but support England.
What, Sky?
We'll get on
Do you know how to work that, mate?
Are you talking to me or him?
You.
No. There's an issue both of you have overlooked.
Go on.
You seem to be picking a team for the Ashes series in England, not Australia. And also, Owen obviously has no idea what he's talking about.
That's not true. You're just making this up. Right, but I'd love to know the changes he'd make. What?
Maybe Dr. Red Pill comes on to that.
Right.
Remember, most Australian pitches are roads, so you might need an extra bowler. Owen's put that into his... I don't think so, but Owen's put that into his...
Yeah, but we know... Right.
But at the same time, England seem to collapse when playing in Australia.
Right.
So do you want an extra bowler or batsman? Also, most teams pick 2 spinners for the Sydney tests. So maybe we should have a look at Crane.
We were saying
Rash.
we were picking 2, but you're probably just going to play 1, aren't you? We said maximum 1 game, you'll pick 2.
Yeah. Another thing to add, I'm not sure I would be picking Toby for Australia. It isn't that fast.
Yeah.
And with the pitches
Very
in
good-
Australia
Very good point.
offering nothing for seam bowlers, I can see him being useless out there.
Well, if he's bowling 70, then he's in trouble. Yeah, well, it's a good point. He did look slow. He doesn't swing the ball, does he? If it's not going to nip around...
He does swing the ball.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, Glenn McGrath did all right out there.
Very good point.
So
He's talking a lot of sense.
Is Toby Allen Jones a doubt for you for the Ashes then? I don't think.
No, because we don't have anyone else.
Or a ball. Ball.
Nah, I think it's all right. I'd prefer a Wokes in there instead
he?
of him. Prefer a Wokes in there instead of him.
Okay, right. Dr. Red Pill, let us know what your team would be to go to Australia. I'm also worried about Anderson's age. Fast bowlers tend to bowl a lot of overs in Australia, plus
Yeah, we
extreme
said that, didn't we?
summer heat. Some Australian press are already stating that this is a hopeless English side with only Ali and Stokes being good players. They're probably like those are the 2 players that we on this podcast have given
What
a lot
about
of
Alistair
shit
Cook and
to. Yeah,
Joe Root?
Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad.
Yeah, they've missed out our 4 best players.
Johnny Bairstow. They're probably all better than them. The thing about Jimmy Anderson, injury, yes, but being unfit, as in like fatigue, I think he's one of the fittest guys in England.
Yeah, and I think he doesn't bowl that. He doesn't. I don't think he's got he hasn't got a massive output in his bowling action.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not like Mark Wood who
I think
runs
he'll be
it.
okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
He'll be all right.
Though the Australian press and I think the English press said that England wouldn't hold a chance in the last Ashes that we played, even though that was in England.
Yeah.
So don't listen to them. Listen to us.
Any more?
Any more for any more? One more.
Right.
2 more.
Okay.
Bring back boycott. Don't laugh. A few times at junior cricket, I batted for hours and still got a duck, lol.
I don't understand. As in, don't laugh at saying to bring back boycott.
Well, I think, do you remember when I kept on saying let's bring back Ian Bell?
Yeah.
This is just a reference to...
Right.
I like it. I wouldn't mind seeing boycott back. Last comment. Come on, guys. What about Collingwood?
Brilliant. Good. Yeah. Just likes you, doesn't he? But Collingwood wouldn't fit this. Even in his peak.
He does.
Yeah, he doesn't fix the problem. Don't need another dodgy all-rounder, do we?
No, he fixes number 5.
Nah. Number 5. We want someone who can bat.
Didn't he bat
number 5?
He would have batted number 5.
Yeah, and had a horrid time.
Collingwood would have fixed all our issues.
Oh.
Ian Bell at 3, Collingwood at 5. Bring them both back in.
Would you be happy to see it?
Collingwood back in.
No, Ian Bell. Would you be happy to see it? Would you say this is England cricket moving forward? Ian Bell back in the team.
I don't know if we have to.
No, you gotta call it a day. You can't say West Indies can't bring back their players and then you want to bring back Ian Bell. You can't do that. So no.
I think bring him back.
You're an idiot.
Batting 3.
You're stupid. Anyway,
yeah. Thank you for that, Dr. Red Pill. We'll certainly bring
Dr. Phil.
And thanks for all our comments. We obviously love to read and hear and all that. This podcast's gone on for over an hour now. Anyway, if you've liked it, give it a like.
If you're new around it.
Subscribe, and we shall speak to you for the next England versus West Indies game. I mean,